After giving us one of the best entries in both the Rocky franchise and in the MCU, Ryan Coogler gives us his first film not based on an IP or true story with Sinners, which just shows how incredible of a visionary this man is. While marketed as a vampire action horror, and we do get plenty of that, there's actually so much more to this. Coogler takes his time in the first two-thirds to really give us this meticulously crafted and detailed world taking place in the 1930s South. Character work is something I truly have to commend. Michael B. Jordan is excellent as two twin brothers who both have shared values and interests, that being wanting to open their own club, but they each have their own very distinct personalities that sets them on two completely different paths to achieve said interests. And this allows Jordan to give two very unique performances as these fully fleshed out characters as we explore their backstories and their wants. But with the first part of the film seeing them assemble all their old friends and acquaintances to help run the place, we get introduced to so many memorable side characters, all of whom either bring their own pathos, trauma, or even bring a little bit of levity. Delroy Lindo provides the latter as one of the performers for the joint and is easily the biggest standout, while we're also introduced to Miles Caton as the twins' younger cousin and brings his own gravitas as an aspiring musician. And music is something that is absolutely integral to this story as a whole. In addition to another high-octane score by Ludwig Göransson, this borders on being a full-on musical, though not in the traditional sense, but there is an emphasis on how music can bring so many cultures together and how it's such a communal experience, with a number of sequences focused on characters singing and dancing together. But unlike a typical musical, it's all within essentially the reality of this film, not with characters stepping away from that reality to break into highly elaborate choreographed dance, with the exception of one notable sequence halfway through, where it really sets the stage for the more supernatural elements that come into play. For those who haven't seen it yet, I won't get into the contents of that scene outside of the fact it was all shot in one take, and it's honestly one of the most breathtaking moments of the film, and I'll leave it at that. But it shows off the beautiful cinematography at its finest here, an element that's consistent all throughout this, and if you get a chance to see this in IMAX, I'd highly recommend it, as it's well worth the experience with its pristine visuals. As for the vampire action itself, as I mentioned, it does take some time getting to this point. Maybe for some it might be a bit too long with the focus on all the other world building, which I get, but once we reach this point, the payoff is fantastic for a number of reasons. Not only does it just deliver on the carnage with some excellent practical effects and thrilling standoffs, but even the lore and the way it ties into the film's overall themes, but with a more sinister energy, I thought was really well done. With vampirism serving as a metaphor, though not in this heavy-handed way, for the appropriation of music and culture in general. And these moments will parallel the very real struggles and racism these characters endured in this setting and time period, as we see in some other scenes. I also like how the battles with them also paralleled our characters standing up against that, so it makes for a film that's equally both a great piece of social commentary and entertainment, and in turn, giving us what's easily one of the year's best.